Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Zamboni Talk. As always, before we get going with anything here today, I just wanted to thank you all so much for joining, for tuning in, for helping this channel grow. As you all know, we're going to keep pumping out these videos, and I got a much more consistent basis going here. We're getting them out pretty much every day I physically can, and that's what we're going to keep doing. So it's going to be every day. I'm making that commitment, and that's what it's going to be. So I'd like to thank you all so much for joining the journey. And if you have any thoughts on what I'm saying at all, an agreement, a disagreement, anything at all, please comment in the comment section down below. And please like and subscribe, and let's get these videos out to more people, because this world is starving for leadership right now. It's starving for people that are relatable and that are doing remarkable things in this world. So that's what I wanted to bring up before we get going. But we're going to get right into the video here. So the subject today is the fact that a lot of people need to sometimes you need to keep what you have going in your life, doubling down on it, getting better at it, but you need to fire your friends, right? So what does that mean, to fire your friends? I'm starting to realize this right now, and it's something that I've actually come to a realization a long time ago. But I was not leveling up to the degree that I am now, not even close. So I used to think that if your friends are a bit negative, you can overcome that, and you can think for yourself, and of course you can, but I've started and I've come to realize that these people that drag you down, that are negative, that are these doomsdayers, victim mentality type people, which there's actually more people than not are actually like that in the world, because the media, the social media is telling people to be like that, right? So these people, what I've found is that you just gotta fire them. You just gotta get rid of them, and you can't really converse with them at all. You could still be cordial with these people, and if you see them, say hi, say what's up, ask them how they're doing, ask how their family's doing. That's all fine. But you cannot keep these people in your life when they're constantly bringing you down and feeling sorry for themselves and making excuses for their inadequacies, and then they're coming at you and just making attacks and everything for no apparent reason other than the fact that all you're doing is reminding them of the life that they can't have because they're not putting in the work, right? They haven't put in the years of work like you have, or that you're about to do, or that you're on the journey to, and they have to try to put you down so they can raise themselves up, right? So that's just what I wanted to talk about in this video, is that to fire your friends, right? Because what I've also found with a lot of these people is that I know people in my life that are not achieving greatness. They have a very average life for all the metrics that we consider average, income, physique, health, in a lot of aspects, they're just average or slightly below or slightly above average, their relationships, everything else. But they are perfectly content being in that state. And to me, that's great. I don't mind being around people like that. I mean, I don't want to spend all my time with people like that, but once in a while, if I just want to take a load off, people like that are fine, right? Because they do not drag you down. They're perfectly content with their life, and they're happy for you, and they're supportive for what you're doing. The issue that arises is when people clearly want success, clearly are envious, talk about luxury items and goods and everything else around the world, but they clearly do not want to put in the work to achieve said results, right? Those are the issues that people have. Like, for example, I have a group of people that like I said, I pretty much fire them. I don't hang out with them anymore. But I live in one of the most expensive housing markets in the world, right? In Vancouver, Canada, right? So, like, for a lot of people around the world, they don't really comprehend how expensive it is. But, I mean, an average house here in U.S. currency, just for a basic couple bedroom house, is going to be like 1.2 million, U.S. sort of thing, right? And most people think that's absolutely ridiculous when the average salary is 70 grand a year, right? Or 60 grand or whatever it is, right? So, but I know that where I live, it's a super desirable place because there's not many cities around the world that are like it at all, right? That offer the amenities that we have, offer the beauty, offer the nature that we have, right? And I completely understand that. And the fact that I was born here and I've moved to some other places in my life, but now I'm back here, and I know that I'm not entitled to anything here because I was born here. That sort of mentality is absolutely ridiculous. But these group of friends seem to think that it's foreign illegal money that comes here and props up the housing market and makes it unattainable for them. Whereas they're on that average salary of 60 grand a year, right? Whereas, okay, that's fine. But in a world-class city that has people coming from all over the world, right? And I know firsthand because I have rental properties here and I interview tenants whenever tenants move out, and I get a gauge on what's going on. Who are these people that can afford to pay $2,600 for a 600 square foot one bedroom apartment? Who are these people? What kind of income are they earning? And I'll tell you that I interviewed people that come here from San Francisco that are ready to buy a house cash and just can't find anything they like yet. And then I interview other kids in their young 20s that are making 130 grand a year coming out of university because they're in tech, they're in e-commerce, right? Like anything like that. I get all these kind of people. I get people coming from other countries that are seriously successful professionals, and then I ask them, why do you want to live here? And they say, because the stability, the safety, and it's much, much better than where I came from. And I said, yeah, I completely understand that, and that makes sense. So I understand that, and I'm realistic about it. But this group of people is constantly playing the victim card that we can't get it because other people are coming in here and stealing our stuff. Well, and my response to that is, if you want to succeed in life, then this is an extremely competitive world, and go out and take it. Take it in your own hands and get out there and do it, right? And that's how I've been able to achieve a top 5% income in our country ish, because I just went out and did it, right? I didn't point fingers at anybody. I just went out and worked more than anybody else, got skills that other people that were desirable, right? And I just went in for it. And of course, I'm trying to look for other ways to diversify my income too, so I'm not spending so many hours at work, because obviously you've all seen my last video. If you haven't, check it out. It's how many hours I'm working per week, right, to achieve what I want to achieve, to put the money into the assets that I need to get to where I want to get to, and to get to the point of what my goal is. That I've announced that I just want to work twice a week. If I work twice a week and can achieve a multi six-figure income, that is, or seven-figure income, that is ultimately the goal, and that is where I'm going to get to, and I know I'm going to get there because I will get there by sheer will, right? I've managed to double my income every year for the past 4 years, right? Or, pretty much 4 years, right? So, anyways, these people you just have to fire, because no matter what, like they bring up these facts and I bring up charts to argue them, to debate, because I actually do like debate and I think it's healthy, but I realize that it's also a big waste of time when you're with people that can't even see your side of the equation. And I love when people bring up points that are counter to what I'm thinking, because it allows me to reposition and understand what's going on in the world. But when I bring up clear charts that are clear as day about what is going on, who's buying what's going on in the market here, and they completely dismiss it and say that I'm cherry picking, making something up, I said, why would I even do that? I don't care what happens out there. I'm going to succeed either way, right? I really could care less. But to some people, they have to constantly make excuses for their inadequacies, right? And the other thing I've seen with this group of people is that they're super supportive when things are going well. Like at the beginning, I should say, when things are going well, that, oh, chase your dreams. That's great. Keep on keeping on. But as soon as you achieve a level of success that's a bit kind of intimidating and scary to this group, because they realize that, holy, he's not messing around anymore. He actually means business. They start to put you down, right? Because what you're doing is, when they're pointing a finger at you, they're pointing to right back at themselves, that they never put in the work to achieve this, right? So that is what I'm doing. That is really what I want to do for the new year as well, is that to surround myself with people that push me and that enrich my life in such ways. And this is actually really difficult. This is something I've struggled with for most of my life, to find these type of people, because there's not that many of them out there, right? There's really not. That's why to achieve a certain level of success, you're in the top 1% of whatever you're doing, right? That is why it is like that. So that's all I have to say here, and it goes back to the kind of motto of the hire slow, fire fast. You have to do that with your friends as well, right? You have to really vet your surroundings, and if you have to, if you don't have any friends right now in your circle that are doing that for you, just use YouTube, right? Use online people until you get surrounded by those people that are enriching your life in every way. So, as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode of the Daily Zamboni